Hello, 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 hello. Um, I decided to do something a little bit different, but something I've been doing for myself for a minute. Um, well, um, since last year, I did like a year-long prediction for myself, and I started doing this specifically for every month. And basically, I really loved it. And I was able to go back and look at every single month. And I predicted some crazy ass shit for myself. I was like, oh, all of what I said came true. So I was like, okay, period. I got spirit in me. And basically, this is your year-long reading, a collective reading. I already have these cards pre-shuffled. My name is Angie Hope, or the Blue Hex. And I'm going to be doing your reading for today. We're going to be using two different decks, but the primary deck is going to be a tarot deck, which is the Hoodoo Tarot. I really love this deck. Number one, because it was made by a black woman. Number two, because it's very rooted in the South. Obviously we know that like Hoodoo is a United States form of Ifa religion, root word conjure. So I really like the different elements that show up here, especially with like roots and psalms and different Bible verses that show up that really resonate. As someone who also grew up in, sorry, that's my cat. I grew up in the Catholic Church. So it really resonates for the way that I understand like spirituality. And yeah, I have everything pre-shuffled. I also am going to give us some tips and tricks as to what we need to be working with energetically this year. So what we need to be working with energetically this year so that we can tap into our highest selves, tap into our highest beings and selves as a community, and you know, experience joy and love. And I really feel like that is the main reason why we are here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Towards the end, I'm gonna explain my crystals. And yeah, so we have January of 2021. We have this reversed Hierophant, but in the Hoodoo deck, it is Bishop C.H. Mason, and it is in the reverse. So I see us challenging tradition. I see us recreating habits, traditions for ourselves. I see us doing things in a new light, and really becoming or tapping into that inner teacher, tapping into that inner guidance, that inner wisdom that doesn't just feel like you're just blindly listening because you feel like you have to. You're actually challenging. You're challenging your own thoughts. And this reverse feels like it's more internal. So like you're going to be definitely challenging the concepts, thoughts, ideologies that you had previously, probably in 2020, that you thought that maybe you moved in certain ways as a survival mechanism, and now you're challenging these traditions, these habits that you have been having. So yeah, I really say go with it. Towards the end, I'm going to give us some tips and tricks for 2021 on how to really flow with this energy that's coming up. And it's an overall message for 2021. And because this is like a year-long thing, I want to make it not super long. So yeah, we're challenging ourselves. We're challenging our own beliefs in January. So in February, we got some more reverse cards. which is the reverse 10 of sticks. 10 of sticks or 10 of wands. It's this elder, and she's dressed in all white, and she's going to top of this mountain, and she's picking up like a specific berry for her root work, and she's carrying these 10 sticks. With this in reverse, we're releasing these burdens that have been put on us, these internal burdens that we may be putting on ourselves, whether that be anxiety, whether that be self-sabotage, blaming self. We're really setting up for ourselves, and we're really releasing all that no longer serves us. So we're just like feeling a little bit lighter in February is really what I'm feeling. And this daughter of baskets is coming up. She got a basket on her head. I always view this card as like self-love. So in the reverse, it's showing me that you're pouring more into yourself. And it could also be pouring into another. So really looking at the ways that you have overburdened yourself, or maybe thought negatively about the love that you want to receive, the love that you have been giving yourself. And you're really reevaluating that and becoming lighter in February, giving to yourself, pouring into yourself more, whether that be through baths, whether that be through massages, whether that be through travel. But I really see love and lightness coming in all forms in February through the release of these burdens. So maybe you're lighting a candle in February to release and clear. I do offer clearing candles on my website that are soy based, so they're massage candles. Also for like spirituality, what I like to do is just like use when the candle gets like warm. I don't like to mess with the flame. But I do take a little bit and I'll just put it on me. I'll set some intention maybe before I go to bed, just so like you get that extra nice little like massage on my hands. Maybe I'll put it on my knees or my elbows. But yeah, you're really developing from January to February. You're developing new habits of pouring into yourself and realizing the ways in which you really like to be poured into. So yes, the reversed 10 of sticks and reversed daughter of baskets for February. So January, February, March, we have Aunt Caroline. And this is the Wheel of Fortune in Tarot. It's number 10 for March. And really what she speaks of is an end of a cycle. So in March, we are really clearing some of these cycles that have been latent. She's just like standing. She reminds me of like those old school photos that like they got a serious ass face, and that's the way they took pictures, and that's on period because ain't shit sweet. But I think really this is about clearing out some of these old latent things that have been coming up for us, especially with the message of January and February, and seeing things in a new light. So January, February, March, April. April is the Scorpio card or ancestors showing up for April, number 13. And really what this is about is allowing what needs to die, and receiving blessings and abundance and messages that are very clear and clarity through that release. And what I'm also seeing is the Three of Knives in reverse, which is a really great card to get in reverse because it just shows healing, necessary healing. So maybe taking time. This Scorpio energy is really showing that we can't just feign being okay. And I don't think that's going to work in this new world that we're diving into. It's really about feeling what you feel, being in your body, not dissociating from the present moment, not dissociating from your feelings, and not just putting your burdens on other people. It's about you sitting down with you and working out these maybe even karmic or ancestral patterns and cycles that have been coming up for you in 2020 through 2021. And I see that through the release of maybe crying, writing things down, burning them. I have also done ritual where I write down the things that I want to release and I drown it in water. I was just on, I don't know if y'all follow Alye, but you need to follow Alye. He was doing a grief session on depression, and one thing he mentioned was burying. So that's also things that I've practiced in the past, and you can bury things. Like I bury things in my own home, like in the soil, in the plants. Or I've gone out into like the nearest forest or nearest where there's a bunch of trees and like buried stuff. Or I've given it to the ocean. I've done like certain rituals for like Yamaya, Oshun, with watermelon and molasses and things like that. So do what feels cool to you. Do what feels like familiar to you for January, February, March, for April. So yeah, but this is a really beautiful reading. I feel like we're being called to heal our inner child, so that we can really live in a more passionate way. January, February, March, April, May. So May we have this Son of Sticks. He had just a bunch of like snakes on the floor, but he has this stick and he has his hand out. And I really love this card because it's the Knight of Wands. It's speaking of like passions, fire energy, pursuits. Maybe in May you'll be dealing with a masculine energy that is a fire sign, that helps you tap deeper into your own passions, into your life purpose, and into like your own magic. And I think that's different for everybody. So yeah, I think as a collective we're going to be tapping into that really divine masculine energy of creating ritual and consistency around our passions. And that only can happen if we are in a state of clarity and lightness. Through that release, we are able to then move forward. And I'm really seeing that energy in Gemini season in June with this railroad, which is the Chariot. It's a Cancer card. But it speaks of just being divinely guided. It's a train. It's like, all aboard, we're going. Railroad Bill. We're heading out. And that's number 7 for June. And it just shows you're being propelled into your life purpose. You're being propelled into what is destiny for you. Whether that be romantically, whether that be in your life purpose, your life work, career. But through this clarity, through these this inner work of journaling, of releasing, of having those hard conversations, of having those hard conversations with yourself, sitting with yourself, meditating, being able to sit in stillness, asking yourself, why can't I sit in stillness? To be able to reach the point of being propelled in that way through divine timing. And it's really about being easy on yourself. So that's what I'm seeing for June, which is really a blessing. It's like the ancestors are saying, you got a life purpose and you're about to live that. And yeah, listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. For July, we have Gullah Jack, which is a beautiful card, which is the Hangman. And Gullah Jack in the Hoodoo deck, it has a really interesting story of a man who is basically like a root worker, a conjure man, like a shaman of some sort, and he basically was leading a revolution, and at some point they did find him and they hung him, but he like went up with this like protective amulet on his forehead. And I think it's just like we consistently transition in our lives, and the hangman in reverse shows of like internal transitions. So you may not be experiencing things on like the outside, but internally you're going to be really changing and letting go of things, whether letting go of relationships that no longer serve you, letting go of ideas or beliefs that no longer serve you, and really falling into this mother of baskets energy. Maybe you'll be looking more into your chart. Maybe you'll be seeing where you'll be looking at your Venus energy for Cancer season in July. And she has her hand out, and Mother Baskets is the mom of Mother Cups, and it speaks of love. It speaks of pouring into self. It speaks of that divine feminine energy of really being the protection that you didn't receive. It's definitely like a mother, being your own mother. And what does it mean to mother yourself? What does it mean to reparent yourself? And even possibly healing some mother wound issues with this hangman showing up. So what does it mean to be your own mother? And I think that's what there's a journal on in July, or even to start journaling on right now. Yeah. How can you pour into yourself? What are ways that you nurture yourself? You nurture your craft. What are ways that you nurture your creativity? What are ways that you nurture your body? What are ways that you nurture your spirit, your soul? What it is that you need to be consistent around in July that brings you joy, that brings you lovingness and happiness? And how do you make your cup overflow so that you can be that and show up for yourself and others? Ashe. We have August with, which I find to be interesting, we have the Eight of Wands upright, and we have the Moon, or Pa, in reverse. So definitely a showing up of this divine masculine energy, but really being like in July, I feel like we're going to really be focusing on nurturing and mothering. And in August, which is Leo season, which represents the sun, it's kind of like yin and yang energy going on. We're really looking internally towards ourselves and in our own shadow, so that we can be lighter, so that we can be honest and truthful and receive all the blessings that we want to receive. And that's what I'm seeing with the Eight of Sticks. We're being driven. It's gonna happen. These internal shifts throughout August that are really going to challenge the way that we may be perceiving ourselves. So that's the energy for the moon. Some other things I'm picking up is like also intuition, listening to yourself, listening to the way that you're speaking to yourself, listening to the way that your masculine energy shows up for you. If you were raised around maybe toxic masculine energy, that was very much like, you need to work, you need to show up in X, Y, and Z ways, and there is no balance of like lovingness and yeah, because divine masculine energy is loving. Divine masculine energy is video cut off. I was on Leo. Love there, took a picture. I was talking about reparenting the divine masculine for Leo season. For September, we have Them Bones and Mother of Coins. Yeah. Yes, I love myself for not doing all that. Okay. Miss Ida. Railroad. Okay. Hi, y'all. Technical difficulties, but yes, for September we have Dem Bones, which is Judgment, and we have Mother of Coins. I'm just double checking because I took a picture of it because everything messed up. Okay. Things happen for a reason. Maybe that wasn't the message I needed to receive. So, 20 is Judgment. We're being called. We're having a realization. We're picking up the call from the universe. We're like, what's up? Oh, you need me to move in these ways? I am. Blah, 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 blah. That's literally what we're doing in the month of September. And I'm seeing it in terms of our coins, in terms of what grounds us, in terms of the Divine Mother, in terms of receiving, receptivity, creativity. We're relaxing. We're really like basking in the fruits of our labor. And we're listening to the messages that we're receiving. Maybe we're getting a reading. Maybe we're doing Reiki in September. Maybe we're getting this, we're clearing our energy. And in that clearing of energies, we are being able to receive and to bask in and rest. And coming out of this, like understanding and reparenting our divine masculine, we're seeing the ways in which we need to allow ourselves to rest even more. September. October is 9 of baskets and 5 of knives in reverse. So 9 of baskets is a wish fulfillment. What I'm seeing for this wish fulfillment, either something we want isn't coming true, or something we want has already came true, or we're closer to whatever it is that we want. We're releasing this self-sabotage, we're releasing these internal conflicts in receiving, and we're allowing ourselves to fully receive. And we're being more realistic with the goals that we want to achieve. So we're also seeing our dreams and goals and things that we want more grounded in reality. And having honest conversation with self. Yes, that is for October. November is Justice, 11. We're being paid dues in some way. We're winning a court case. We're receiving, we reap what we sow is what I'm getting from this card. We put in the work, we're getting that energy back in some way or form in the month of November. 11 speaks of like high consciousness alignment. So that's really what I'm getting. Maybe even healing some karmic or ancestral issues, problems, or cycles. And then for December, we have the High Priestess, Miss Ida. And she's showing up in the form of truth. She's showing up in the form of knowingness, of clarity, of balance, of alignment, truly. Again, we have 11 and then 2. And she's lighting these candles. She's showing up in the reverse, which I'm taking it as something that is more internal, that is happening, and that we are seeing and facing within ourselves, our own truths, our own clarity, and becoming clearer on like just who we are as spiritual beings, as physical beings. When I think of the High Priestess, I think of someone that's just really like, I'm chilling, I'm basking in my knowingness. I don't really need to be affirmed from these outside sources. I don't really need to exist in the way that you think I need to exist, and this is my motherfucking truth. So live in it, sweetie. Yes. Also pay attention to the new moon for December. I feel like a lot of shifts are happening during then. So the overall message I got was the world. Number 21, for 2021, our overall message is the closing of a cycle. We're closing the ancestral cycles, we're closing these karmic cycles, and we're going into a new phase, which includes our passions, our drive, our true passions, our authenticity. And the only way that these things can be achieved is if we go through these deep internal shifts. And the way that we allow these deep internal shifts is through acceptance. But there cannot be acceptance without forgiveness, without relinquishing or releasing regret. It's about seeing the future, moving towards the future without the baggage of the past. And it's about forgiving ourselves, ultimately. It's about forgiving ourselves. It's about our solar plexus energy, having confidence, regaining our confidence, regaining our sense of self, regaining our personal power. Because when we're in lack, when we think that we are not, when we think that, when we're stuck in fear, shame, regret, lack of forgiveness, pain, we are not moving from our God body, from our source, from our light, our own inner light. We're moving from our trauma, and we're moving from these deep-seated inner child stresses. We're moving as inner children. And what I really see here is that we're growing up, we're maturing in a whole different way. And there's a gift in 2021, and the gift, I'm going to make sure this is recorded because I'm going to be upset if it's not. Hold on. Yes, period. Okay, this gift is coming through deep internal shifts. It's coming through listening to our passions. It's coming through our creativity. It's coming through working with this fire energy. When we think about fire signs, I think of like Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And I think like those people tend to be big energies, but they also tend to be really positive energies, like at their best, like at your best, you are love. Leos can definitely be this like big, bold energy of love and of light, and they represent the sun. And same thing with like Sagittarius and Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so it's the baby. Aries can really be these intelligent, these like fun, light beings, and Sagittarius can really be like funny as fuck. I'm a Sag moon, so I aim also for comedy. So comedians, we think about these signs and their positive aspects, and those are the things that we're nurturing and we're really providing to ourselves and to others in this year. But mostly, and the number one thing is about allowing yourself to receive these blessings, allowing yourself to bask in your own creativity and doing the actual work, and forgiving yourself. And after that forgiveness comes lightness, comes joy. So yes, allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to actually do the work. I know the work is sometimes scarier than it sounds, but truly crying is maybe what we need. Burning some shit is maybe what we need. Maybe we're burning it all to the ground. We're burning the way that we see ourselves. We're burning down the way that we have had to be like zombies and navigate the world. Like the way that we have survived our trauma, our childhood, and the way that we've had to survive in this society is not conducive to our highest selves. So in 2021, I'm really seeing number 21 is no surprise that we're ending off with the High Priestess number 2, and the overall message, it encompasses this number 21, the world. And we're just allowing those past selves to be released into the world so that we can move into our highest selves. And in the last video, I spoke of this cycle, and I spoke of a cylinder. When we think about like a cylinder moving up, and one of my old professors, her name is Celia Cuddy, and she basically put in one of my papers, and she was like, the world can feel like a spiral, and like this spiral's moving up, and every time we go through these same cycles, it feels like, what the fuck, like why am I going through the same thing over and over and over and over again? The truth is, these things that keep on happening over and over and over and over again are happening for our highest good, are happening until we wake the fuck up and see, oh shit, this is really like, this is happening because I'm choosing for it to happen, because I needed this to happen to learn this lesson, to come out of this thing. So whatever that may be for you, I hope it resonates. I hope this message truly does make sense to you for the year. I hope it is a good guide for going into 2021, and I hope it provides some hope, because I think what this message really did for me was provide hope. It provided an understanding of who I am going into this next year, and really who we are as a collective going into this next year. But I really like to use I statements, because it's important that we as readers, people doing transformational work, really humanize ourselves and include ourselves in this work. So I try to be intentional about including myself in the message, so it resonates for folks. But thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to this session. I pray that 2021 is all you need and above. I pray that you receive all the blessings, all the abundance, all the love, and know that it is your birthright. And know that you are loved, and I love you. And I'm praying for, us to move into a place of just intellectual human rights, where we're listening to Black women, where we're prioritizing not this materialistic world, but prioritizing love and prioritizing truth and prioritizing humans for being humans, and truly seeing humans from a human perspective rather than this other perspective that centers harm and centers materialism and centers all these other isms that don't include humanity and the truth of all humanity. So period, 2021, we're moving forward. I'm really grateful for y'all being here. I'm sending y'all gratitude. I'm going to be posting part of this video. Is going to be like an extra little part that's going to include what I think is going to be a really great healer. I'm going to call a really great point of transformation for us as a collective for 2021. Tap, tap, tap in. And yeah, thank you for being present. And I'll speak to you later. And if you don't know, feel free to check out my website at www.thebluehex.com. I do tarot readings, I do oracle readings, I do Reiki, and yeah. I also am on Instagram as The Blue Hex. I'm on Twitter as Angelope10, and I am on Facebook. Follow my Facebook group at The Blue Hex. We're doing year-long readings. If you would like a personalized one, hit me up, book it on the website. I do offer sliding scales. I do offer installments. I get it, this is tough times. So I also just appreciate the energy exchange. If you would like to donate, I will put my Cashapp and all my information below. Cashapp, Venmo, PayPal, all that. So yes, thank you for coming. Thank you for your presence. And I'm praying that you have a wonderful 2021.